Yes, I know what you're thinking. I didn't say anything about Dricus du Plessis. No, not a word. He's been the talk of the town. Everyone's been celebrating because he won this MMA cage fighting EFC. I gotta admit it. I'm a slow adapter. I haven't caught on to this. It's a relatively new sport. I don't take interest. I watch a bit of rugby and a bit of cricket. It's like it's still catching on. So everyone has been all happy, but the thing is that everyone's all proud. Lots of nachas, lots of trotsheid over Dricus. Now then, Dricus du Plessis. Then a day or two later, he decides, let me make a statement. Let me say, this is what Dricus said. The ANC government is the most corrupt government. Did he say in the world? I can't remember. He said, ANC government is corrupt. And I suppose he realized he's got the platform. This is his opportunity to get something off his chest. His waxed, muscular chest. He had to get it off his chest. I suppose he's been thinking about it. But just use your cop, Dricus. Just stop for a second. I mean, I can't look. I can't expect him to really think along these lines. But maybe it'll come up one day in his mind. Do you ever see a Kolisi rugby cap? He's holding the William Webb Ellis, the gold trophy in his arms. He's just won the World Cup. Does he say the ANC government is corrupt? Never mind that. He's busy dancing and kissing and hugging President Cyril Ramaphosa. Hey, does that mean that Siya Kolisi is a big buddy, a bosom buddy with Cyril Ramaphosa? No. He realizes this is the moment. Let's be positive. Let's celebrate. Our cricket team, whoever's the captain on that particular, we change captains so often I can't keep up. Say it's Aiden Markham on the day. He's captaining on the day. He was one man of the match, right? He's receiving his man of the match award. Oh, thank you. Oh, by the way, ANC government is corrupt. No, he doesn't do that. There's a reason. Think, Dricus. Use your kop, your seichel. Imagine you're a cage fighting MMA fanatic, and you just seen Dricus du Plessis from South Africa. Maybe I want to go visit South Africa. I'm an American, got my strong dollar. There could be 1,000 of them. There could be 10,000 Americans. They want to come visit South Africa. Tourists. But then Dricus du Plessis says South Africa's corrupt. There, cancel holiday. There's a R1 billion worth of tourism gone. Jobs lost. Everything. Tourism is huge. Tourism, because you know what? Tourism is important. It leads to so many other jobs. It's a strong economic, because when a tourist comes, they stay in a hotel. They might go shopping while they're on holiday. They might buy clothes. Then they go on safari. They might go to Matikwa Kruger National Park. They go into restaurants. They eat. A tourist is like the nucleus. It's like the nucleus of a micro economy. Spending money, and this creates jobs. This boosts. Dricus du Plessis. I don't want to make you feel guilty. I don't want you to have sleepless nightmares. But you may have cost South Africa. Who knows? Maybe 10,000 jobs. Maybe R1 billion worth of our economy. Gone. Am I in denial? No, I'm not in denial. Yes, our South African ANC government, yes, they're corrupt. They've been corrupt. They are corrupt. They're going to be corrupt. Well, they've stolen. Well, they're stealing. They will steal in the future. They're stealing right now. That is reality, but you know what? We don't always have to know the truth. The truth is not always necessary. It's not always vital. And then I'm going to go, maybe take a step out of the box, a step out of your cage, Dricus, just for a moment. It's 2024, Dricus. Yes, the ANC haven't done so well recently. But you have the freedom to make a living, to exercise your profession, to take part in your profession, to earn a living, to get beaten to a pulp. Oi, those did you see his ears? Did you see Dricus Dricus du Plessis' ear? Those ears will never come right. Top plastic surgeon in the world will not sort those ears out. Keloids with a capital K. Is it worth it? I don't know. Maybe I don't know what they earn. Maybe they earn a lot of money. If it was South Africa 1986, 1990, you would not have had these opportunities, Dricus, to take part in the international stage. Yes, a lot of things have gone wrong in South Africa, but a lot of things have gone right. You have the freedom to even to make your mistakes, commit your faux pas. Anyway, just think about that. Come on. Imagine Siya Kolisi with the gold trophy. Well done, Siya, you won the World Cup. Well, I'd just like to point out that the South African ANC government is very corrupt. Well, thank you, Siya. That's put a real damper on our celebrations. And now we're not even going to visit South Africa. God knows, cost a fortune. You're a cage fighter, not a political analyst. Yes, that statement is accurate, it's correct. But there's a bigger picture. There's a much bigger picture. You need to, give context. Can't expect you to give context. You're not in a position to give context. You don't even know the context. You don't have time for the context. So rather, don't even start. Don't even start. Can you imagine? Netball player. Spa ladies netball player. She puts the ball into the net. They win. They beat whoever, Australia. Ach, dankie, maar just remember, the ANC government is very corrupt. You don't hear that? You see, this is why this happens. The netball team, the cricket team, the rugby team, they control. They're controlling bodies. So they make sure they behave, do the right thing. Dricus du Plessis, it's an individual sport. This cage fighting, it's individual. What's Dricus du Plessis got? He's got his father there hugging him with the blood and the sweat and the. I don't know. I love my son. I've had a son, and I don't know if I would hug him. Ugh. Anyway, he's got his manager. He's got his coach. He's got his father. He doesn't have these guys. These guys are not, clued up. They're not going to, In fact, they're probably during their break. These guys, they probably don't read much news. They don't. All they can say to each other is, "Hey, this government's corrupt. Hey, it's so corrupt. It's so corrupt." Oh, yes, it's corrupt. We know it's corrupt. Get over it. Move on. Move on. Yeah. A little bit of feedback. Good to get feedback. Sometimes feedback. It's good to get feedback, even if it's negative. I often bring up misinformation and, propaganda. And, we're in a world now where you've got to just be, what is the truth? What is the truth? And not everyone understands the difference between truth and fact. Oh, excuse me. So, I was talking about the other day about, I was saying that there's this claim that South Africa is a proxy to Iran, and I was saying, listen, Bob Mice's conspiracy theory, you can't just make things up. Cannot just make things up. You can think it, you can maybe give it as a, you can suspect it, you can say, okay, I suspect it, I wouldn't be surprised, maybe, but you can't just state it as a fact. So somebody sends me a message. Let's call him Keith for argument's sake. Keith says, Damon, soon after Naledi Pandor visited Iran, soon after she came back, all that debt that the ANC owed, apparently the ANC owed money for billboards, advertising billboards, they owed a lot of money. Suddenly that money was paid. Do you know that for a fact? Keith, how do you know that? This is just you talking to your buddies, talking to your friends. Where did you read this? What news source? What credible news source? You can't just make things up. You can't just believe everything that somebody says to you. It's crazy what goes on. I know this lady. I don't know how it came up in conversation. She doesn't have a TV. She says she doesn't have a TV, no TV. I understand that not everything on TV is great, but surely, I don't know, you should have some contact with the outside world. I told you the other day about this this group of friends, ex-friends that I used to go Friday night dinner, Shabbos. Most of them openly admitted that they don't watch the news. They don't watch the news. They don't read the news. They don't watch the news. But yet, they have very strong, firm opinions about what's going on in the world. They base their opinion on what friends tell them. I kid you not. They base their opinion on what they hear their friends telling them. How many other people are like this? I'm just flummoxed. I don't know what to say. I'm a bit perplexed. As I got home, so I listened to Howard Stern, but I need to change the radio. I need to change the radio off the USB because when my wife uses the car, because we share a car, we just got one car. I don't want her to put on the Howard Stern because then she'll ruin where I am, because of the place where I am. So I put on and it was on Chai FM, Jewish community radio station. And so for about 45 seconds or so, I heard the presenter Howard Feldman talking up what's coming up next, and he's going to talk to somebody from the Zionist Federation, some rumor or story that LL is not going to fly to South Africa. I don't know if that's true. Don't take that to heart. I didn't continue listening. Then he also wants to talk about how the Jewish community in South Africa is feeling very fragile. Fragile was the word he used. And I feel bad. I don't feel fragile. I'm obviously not part of the Jewish community. I don't feel fragile. And then it got me thinking. I just thought of something is it a contradiction or an hypocrisy? Forgive me. My language is a bit limited. But it was very interesting in the conversation that I had with Steve Marks the other day. I can't remember whether we did it while we were recording the episode or whether it's something he said to me at the Mug and Bean. So, but I'm sure he doesn't mind me repeating it. He said something along the lines of, these Muslims move into countries like Europe and whatever, and they don't assimilate necessarily. They're not Muslim, they don't become English, they don't become German, they stay Muslim, and they want to enforce their Islamic whatever. Or they don't assimilate, that's the word. But I think maybe a large core of the Jewish community in South Africa are maybe guilty of the same thing to a degree. And it's not only the Jewish community, I can say the same thing of the Greek community. I went to a wedding many years ago, almost 20 years ago. It was Greek, South Africans of Greek descent. That's the way I put it in my mind. And I was quite surprised, or very surprised. In their speeches, they spoke Greek. I was shocked. I thought, this is South Africa. They're all speaking Greek. So obviously, I didn't understand the speeches. It was all Greek to me, obviously. So maybe the Jewish community in Johannesburg specifically, because that's all I can really relate to, maybe they're guilty of it. Maybe we don't assimilate. Like, what's this obsession with Israel? And many people will be horrified and shocked that I just made this statement. Aren't we in South Africa? Are we not South African? It's like, yes, we have this strong affinity to Israel. But what has happened in Israel, the horrific massacre on October the 7th, and the supposed attitude of the South African government, and this perception that the South African government are big buddies with Hamas and big buddies with Iran. So now the South African community is feeling very fragile. Maybe if we thought of ourselves as South African primarily, South African first, and primarily South African, we wouldn't feel this way. Maybe we haven't assimilated. Maybe we have this lager mentality. Yes, be concerned. Yes, be disappointed with what you think what is happening in Israel and what you think the South African government is doing wrong. Yes, be concerned, but to be fragile, dare I say, have some kind of level of anxiety? Because that's the impression I'm getting. I'm getting the sense of anxiety within the Jewish community. I mean, as I was saying in one of my previous episodes, there's this Howard Feldman in the South African Jewish Report. He's thinking we're close to evacuation. I tell you, I think we need to get a bit of perspective, need to calm down a bit. Calm down a bit. You know, the South African community represent less than 1% of the population. Just pull yourselves together. Not everything's about us, I'm sorry to say. You know, dare I say, arrogance is kind of creeping in. It's not always about us. Yes, there was the Holocaust. Yes, we suffered. Yes, there's generations and generations of anti-Semitism and genocide and horrific, horrific things. But so there's this generational, inherited, it's in our DNA, this persecution complex. But we need to calm down. I don't feel fragile. Okay, that's how I feel.